My family, on a good evening. I hope say any side say una friend una safe na the world. I hope say una they do well. Today again na Friday. As usual, salon issues. We sit down I also for talk about different things them where they happen in our country, where they happen in our different communities, them in our country. So without wasting much time, I hope say una go sit down with me over the next 2 hours for discuss something them. Today na open mic, we mean say I expect una for calling. I expect una for giving a contribution, them lots and lots of contributions. I expect una for weighing on the different issues them. So today we get different things in our table. We go talk about the baby whale we washed up in Lumley Beach. We not to the first time this it don't happen. It happen frequently now. I believe it was last year, if I could recall, that another one washed up to the shore. And we go also get for talk about waiting and they say about the ecosystem, about the environment a little bit. Granted, I'm not the expert, so I come out from a layman's opinion, okay? We go also get for talk about the rising COVID incidences them na Salone. The numbers then don't go up quite significantly with the inside the third wave. And more importantly, we go look at the dangers then, with regards to the third wave, especially the Delta, where obviously we don't notice saying as something way the Delta variant, like warm weather. And then we go end up with the bread and butter issue. We are waiting WF, the World Food Program, say we see the video we come out na do, and we will get for talk about waiting it mean, in terms of the layman, waiting and they mean for them, waiting it mean, food insecurity. Are we food secure or are we food insecure? And waiting and they mean in terms of population growth, and all of that. Today with me I get somebody we una all know. When it come, it try for logging at the studio, but the moment he log in at the studio, we go bring her on, make introduce himself. She's no less a person than Madame Daphne Maximilian Christiana Pratt, or Christiana Maximilian Pratt. Casada Kitchen as commonly called, or Casada Kitchen the brand. Una go follow her now in YouTube. She has a YouTube page called Casada Kitchen the brand. If you everything that is forbidden, everything that is taboo on Facebook, she has it there on YouTube. So if you want to go into the taboo zone, then definitely go into Casada Kitchen the brand on YouTube. Without wasting much time, make I bring Madam Daphne Pratt in, make me say hello to Fambulem.
You dey get me?
Yes, we dey get you.
Oh, Fumble them in a kucha in a cabo in a kucha this Friday and in a all welcome to this really program where they can talk about the issues, the pressing issues then where they affect we all beloved country Sierra Leone.
Indeed, the pressing issues then where they affect we country Sierra Leone. Without wasting much time, I want make we go to the baby whale we washed up. I go ask with technical team, make them play a couple of videos them for we, and then we go cancel inside and listen.
Yes, we go. Now attack out, sir. Mr. Go and go to. This is not going below. Mr. Go and go to. I was attack.
One is efficient. One is there. Let me the fish.
One is the fish away. Ah, yes, open up.
Good morning, my family. I'm Kaisakwi, the Marketing and Publicity Officer, National Tourist Board. Yesterday, we tried very hard, the community people, Ministry of Fisheries and Marine, other stakeholders, but I should say the kid will go back to say, come on. Normally, this can happen along a bit, but this time it's quite different. Why? Why different family? They jump because of the another water soak me. After all the dredge don't carry caterpillars for pusher, it still don't come back again. We are still calling for Chinese companies that we get proper trawler for draw this gentleman back to the ocean. Because no one let die off sea. If you are there, you get this video. Any side there around Salone, you don't say you get a kind tendency for provide trawler or bigger ship for draw this way for go back to say come on. But they kindly ask you, please, let we make it, let we help her, whether or not die offshore. Thank you very much. Wherever you get this information, Ghana National Tourist Board, ask for the General Manager Fatmata Kroma or Kaibi Sakwi or Umaru Woody or Mr. Ibrahim Toure. Let us help. We call on the police, the military, the fire force, whatever we can do for let this kid whale be protected and be conserved. If even not for Salone again, but for other regions within West Africa. I'd also advise people there, Lord not put nef pana, Lord not tin up on her, Lord ensures we protect her and guide them. Now just like we man one left in water, now happen so a lost in way. We said a human beings okay, lost away in our water. This now whale is a kid whale, is still young, a migratory one, a lost in way. Let we ensure say we as local people there, we will protect them, preserve them, for let we begin the EVC in the future to come. Thank you very much. So once more and finally, wherever you are, you get a ship, you get trawler, we're able to draw this animal or this creature from this shore to the ocean. We will appreciate and God will bless you. Thank you.
Okay, so basically now this happen so today Friday, Wednesday morning where we wake, we see videos then they circulate. You know, the black whale, a black baby whale we washed up shore na Lumley Beach. The thing is that this not the first time where whales then don't wash up shore na Lumley Beach. Now especially Lumley Beach. You know, it happens so frequently. But then, even from the past incidences up till now, the marine resources not put in place structures, not put in place sensitization mechanism for the communities, the surrounding communities, and even the one them where they then at the beach. I want them to them when and see them kind thing also waiting for do. We see where people them they go near the whale. They tell the whale, open your mouth, they touch the whale. Even some man been the attempt for lift up, you know, the fangs them of, you know, of the whale. and whatnot, they go touch the whale. These are sea creatures, these are sea beasts, okay? And then they have a role to play in protecting our environment, in in protecting our ecosystem. When anything also happen, the first thing we for do, we for don't get a structure in place where that place they go be boarded, until then bring the whale back na in safe habitat wey na inside the water. For take up to 48 hours. That it's possible say that whale they might not even survive, because e don dey far long, for long hours, without submerge inside the water. Like where we cannot live inside water, we need dry hair, we need whatever, dry hair, we need special conditions them for live. Now so back the whale self, then self they need water, they need the sea, especially the water from the ocean, for survive, for make that's not a habitat, na there then they thrive, na there then they survive. That small water no more wey been dey wash ashore on top am, small, it's not enough, because they have to be deep into the oceans. Now when they're ready for can take air out, now then can come, and take it out. Obviously, I'm sure that whale, like they say, it lost in way. I should say it don't lost in mama, and then it travel, it drift. But the question is, what structures do we have to protect sea creatures like this when they wash up shore? And second, this other question again is that, what is it saying about our waters? What is it saying about our waters? Because if the whale then they wash upshore so frequently, I believe one happened last year, one happened the year before, and then this year again another one don't happen. What is it saying? Is it that we are polluting our waters to the point where the fish they know they get enough food for it, or that we don't pollute the water to the point where the food then within the sea no condition not acclimatize for the whale for eat am? Or is it that our water levels are decreasing so fast that for that whale day for make it can wash up shore like that? I go give you some time, Kasara Kitchen, make you rub more on this.
Okay. First of all, thank you again, once again. I want to make it categorically clear here, maybe something we don't know about this whale. According to my investigation, this whale was caught in a fishing vessel's net. It was dragged onshore by a Chinese boat, an illegal fishing boat. That's not waiting again for understand. Say na an illegal fishing boat, na him this whale caught na in net before they drag and come on shore. And waiting again for understand was that the fishing boat was arrested. And it just brings me back to another question, the way you they say. This same thing happened last year. And I don't think there's any mechanism in place for these sort of things. But again, Matilda, we got to realize one thing. Me and you then at the diaspora, and some of we sisters and brothers that in Sierra Leone, you could not tell me that you are going to hire anybody and put them in certain position where they don't have an iota of how that institution runs. They do not know nothing about maritime. So you will get that kind of situation in there. And again, those who do, even because me I work in a government office, I know say that I make the say the permanent secretary, now then government office today, now then the real boss, because now they know the structure of the ministry. In most cases, ministers then I come and go, they're passerbys. So they're just signatories to things that need to be happen. Well, now the situation this way you get, where you get people that will not qualify, will not get an idea of how things they run, but they're in office. You understand? They don't get no
Yeah.
idea how things they run, but they're in office because of the relationship, not so because of the expertise. I don't know if you don't if you they follow up for the past 3 weeks, or let me say for the past month, there have been like 8 or 7 fishing trawlers that have been spotted along the Sierra Leone Liberia Peninsula. And those fishing trawlers have been fishing illegally in our waters. I'm bringing up this point because it relates to this whale. Some of these people, of these trawlers, when they come into our waters, they bring these gigantic fishing nets that drags everything. It drags everything to the point that as we are speaking now, there is not enough fish in Freetown. The only fish you can see right now in the market is pollock. Because I believe our fish bay along that peninsula area, this is where the young fish, it's a shallow water, not deep compared to deep sea. That is where the big fish come and hatch their babies and things. But with the rate of fishing, with the rate of speed fishing vessels plowing on that side, they have literally wiped out that sector where these baby fishes used to rear. So it's a sad affair. But again, if you have a
So
president who says,
just because I no want for make this thing so important that we people them, the language where then can hear, where then they understand. I want for make we talk Creole, because this is
okay,
very
okay,
important. Make we talk Creole so that then go understand wetin this mean, because they say, not only they say, we get for teach with people them how for behave around such sea beasts them, and then we also get for educate and find solutions, because this is definitely saying something about our waters, and it is definitely
yeah,
saying something about pollution of the water as well.
yeah. But I mean, like what they tell you, say, Matilda. According to what me know, they say that one fishing boats. Now me the fishing with a big net. Now drag this sea whale. And I believe say, then go find out, well, if it's a well equipped boat, then go get ocean gram or ocean, the guarantee when they put when they go know say this is a big whale when they don't catch in the net. So my point is, and what I get for understand this fishing boat, me get for arrest them. My point is, who side, when some of them they will when they're at the social media, when they come out when they can't talk about certain things, people are not they understand the importance of them thing a day. Yes, this time they check every year. It don't become a habit now. It happened last year. This year back, it don't happen. The year don't middle. But it give a bad, it give a wrong message. It give a wrong message that something is wrong with our ocean. It's either something is wrong with our ocean, it is either climate change is affecting the flow of our water for let this thing they happen in so many times. It talk and they think about pollution, but again when they talk about pollution, and nothing to say blue whale go give pollution that we pay. Me fear is global warming, because failure to realize with all these trees being cut, being they all them things that whether they cut, all them mountain whether they degenerate, all the one that they affect the that cause for concern when they talk about global warming.
Yeah,
So
no,
with all that,
absolutely.
with the
Absolutely.
trees that have been cut, it affects we ecosystem. with the mountain that has been degenerated, it affects the ecosystem. So again, now other points that one day you bring, and then I mean it's so sad, like why they tell you, like when we get for understand say that fishing boats nine catch nine bring nine drag this monster come on land. First of all, we don't know what thing happened to that baby whale there. Maybe it could have been a sick baby whale. But again, like why they say, if you go give somebody a job where the person don't know nothing about that job there, and as we always see the system, now Uda they say yes, my yes, and not to Uda sabi the job. Because if na Uda sabi the job, it go ask therefore don't put thing in place. Because this thing happened last year. And this is the second thing. And because if Uda know his job, he go know say this is a wake-up call where therefore don't call the people that were concerned. For can put a measure in place for letting thing they not happen. And if perchance it happen, like what happened so. They not sensitize the fishermen in the area. They not talk to the people in the area. Say if an accident in there, next time, in a not touch, in a not this, in a not do that. You know, there's so much to be done in our country.
That is true. So
But
much to be there's so much to for make we do now we country. And for me, when I see that, I remember the first big whale we washed up last year. You know, people they go team up on top the whale. People they take picture. People they this. People you don't treat these animals like that. They you know these creatures because they are sick creatures. Then suppose for the inside water, if they washed offshore like where Kasada kitchen can say, they can be washed up for shore for so many reasons. And if it is the case
right,
that something we self na mortal man, we not can feel well, we body not can air. If it can be to say na sick the whale sick, we as a country, I mean, we not get the resources for even take care of we own mortal man there, let alone
right.
for take care of the marine animals, the marine creatures them. I don't think say Sierra Leone gets the capacity. I might be wrong, but I don't think we have
No,
the capacity for even
I'm gonna
conduct
tell
the
you one
test
thing.
them,
No,
for even
Sierra Leone have the personnel. Sierra Leone we get qualified marine engineers. We do. I can vouch for that. We have qualified marine engineers. But again, you can be qualified. But if you are not given they're not give you the play level field for do your job, you're not go able for do them.
but
But
this
I
not
can
even
assure you, say
about
inside the
qualification. This not
Ministry of
even about
Fisheries,
this not even about qualification. This is about do they have the capacity? And capacity, I'm not only talking about, I'm not the only refer educational wise. I dey talk about the equipment, the testing
no, no,
equipment,
no,
the
we not
equipment
get that.
for
We not get that. We
exactly.
not get
And
that.
now they
We
thing
not
then
get that.
they need
But
now then they
we
need
not
in
get that.
order for rescue mission and for prognosis and for diagnostic. Those are the things they need.
We in actual fact we don't have it. But if we get a system where I mean we have the military and the navy. I believe the navy they get boats where you know when things are coordinated. When me a marine doctor, I know about marine wildlife. When Tileke dan they happen, who side they come first, then for control with the marine people. Or the by right the marine people for don't do that one day. If you coordinate with them and the fisheries, even with the Guma Valley, because obviously we all know say there marine creatures they need for live in the water. Even at America, I walk you see some they can say stranded whale. When they see them go take hose, then they feed that water for lake they know say that water it they live by, you know. But again, like why they say Matilda, you gotta put the right people in at the job and you give them this not a thing where they happen all the time. Not a thing where they happen all the time, you know. But it don't happen one time, it don't happen two time. If you put the right people in at the place, you empower them. You know, if you put the right people in at the place, you empower them. I believe say they're able for deliver. But again, if you not put the right people then at the place, and sometimes once I don't get one problem when something can happen, we talk about them, then they will forget about them. You can imagine that make Fatma Sawane say, what's making us for the prison? Feel to say Saloma don't forget. Because that's so we think. Every one thing will happen today, as it happen today, after today, we don't forget say something may happen. So they don't take it for granted. But this is sad on the maritime one. Two, it's sad on the people safe with the around that area day. Because like what I say, we don't know what you do now whale day. We don't know if na poison whale. You know what I mean? And people they be so comfortable standing naked feet on top of the whale, being very close. They don't know what to do the whale. There was no marine doctor or somebody where for can give an assessment. All what you see that we all local people, they no more been they render assistance. Then they come to the reason, do we really have a ministry of fisheries or lands or waiting? Because I think to say that till the day, now therefore take the forefront. But again,
Yes.
but again, like what I say, we country in the run by who that know you not to who that qualify for the job. So
Mm.
some things that the way they happen where who that not because now who that know you not to your qualification. If now your qualification you dey take as serious. Say hey this it go affect me name. But again now who that know you so what should they expect?
Okay, so we they can move on to a different topic, but on this particular will, here are some lessons learned, and here are some things that we go want personally on behalf of nature and the environment and whatnot for the Ministry of Marine Resources for taking into consideration. Moving on from now, one. I go want to make them do a sensitization around the Lumbly Environ community, Lumbly Godrich Environ community, for
Not
make
only
them talk to
Lumley,
the
not
fisherman
only
them.
Lumley, say around the sea area. Because we talk about, excuse me, we talk about Lumley area, right? What about if they think they happen at them bond, where we know they know about? What about them Banana Island, where we know they know about? So the sensitization of will only be on Lumley area. It will be around the coast. Because something that they will
Yeah,
not know, you know what they
I
say.
agree with you, but in everything we have to start gradually. Since the occurrences don't we get a proven fact that the occurrences don't happen several times at Longley Beach. I think so they can start from Longley Beach and then spread them to the rest of the different coastal communities them and whatnot.
Right.
So for me, really, my advice to the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources, Ocean and Marine Resources, now one, immediate sensitization of the community, the Godrich Lumley community, the fishermen them, the picking them in general, the entire community about how to handle situations like this. Make sure say them demonstrate, not just talk, but also put some things them in place for sort of demonstrate and say when such thing dey happen, these are the steps dem una need for take, dis na wetin una need for do as people and within the community for safeguard the life of the sea creature and also for safeguard una own life and una own ecosystem. Secondly, wetin I go want them for do is that make them get I don't know if na tractor or trolley or whatever wey go dey in place where something like this happen, where they not go dey wait for the bigger and say, oh, Uda wear the Chinese boat with the big trolley them, Uda get big trolley, make it can help we, or Uda get, caterpillar for can help we ace this thing and so go back 48 hours later. For me, that was too late. Secondly, the need for put in place like a tracking system. If na so then kind thing and they be happen, once then they send the baby mammal back to to the sea, wetin dem go do is that dem go put a tracking device panam for see for make sure how e progress, how e survive, if e survive, and follow am. Wetin dat dey create, dat dey create a map right? For also then they go also help for study patterns. Okay, for study patterns. Waiting at the patterns. Maybe there is a new migration pattern where don't begin to happen. The water level, the water temperature, the need for test the water level, the need for test the water temperature, the need for test the how dem call am, the water quality as well. Because like I say, we don't know if pollution gets something for do with this. People and they go na beach, then they throw all sort of things, do all sort of things, then at the beaches, na the beach them. We also know for about climate change. We know say climate change they affect the sea, and the decrease of the water or the melting of the ice and whatnot so much, and also it transform the formation of the water pattern. So therefore we also need for look into that, so that we can better prepared, better place for the next one wey go happen. So now then few advice then they me get for the the Ministry of Ocean and Marine Resources for make sure say we protect our environment, protect our ecological system, while also protecting our community, while the community is also protecting the ecological system. The phone lines are open, people. The phone lines are open because today is open mic. I want to make everybody get the time for giving contribution, even as we discuss. Now we move on to another thing. COVID-19. COVID-19. We don't talk about this COVID-19. We don't talk about this COVID-19. So man say, you know they, but left me bo, come you know they na salon bo, na left me bo. This na idle talk on a depan. But I hope by this time around with the second wave and the numbers and the rise and how rapidly it rise, I hope say despite it all, I hope say una don't understand say indeed COVID is real and COVID they kill. The amount of people and we don't get COVID in the last 2 weeks, it's astronomical. It's astronomical. Neither we don't have the vaccines for take care of things, but then now we they put in place rules, policies where they prevent people them for access government institutions if they cannot prove that they've had they've been vaccinated or at least have one doses of the vaccine. When you have 17 million plus people, 17 million plus people, let us say that the median age, let's say the median age according to the vaccine, whatever, let us say that of that 17 million plus people going 18 million, let us say a good 75% of your population are qualified for that vaccine. So give or take, let me say about 4.7 million people. Let us just say, I try to make an argument here for the government. Let's just say about 4.7 million people are qualified for that vaccine. Now the vaccine one at the give, they need 2 doses of that vaccine day. Let us time 4.7 million people times 2. Do you actually have that amount of vaccine right now? About what about 9 point something million vaccine. Do you have it ready to dispense to the people before putting those law? Or have you had that ready to dispense to the people? And I go inside some of the press release them just now. I go give Kasada Kitchen the floor.
Well, to tell you the truth, when like I use the word say, when somebody don't know what to do, it just they go by the flow. That's so I go say. If my memories can serve me right, when we a football team go play, when they make up for play the last match, that's Leone before they may get this problem with the FIFA. It was about COVID-19. They may get a problem. How many players will get COVID? How many players don't get COVID?
6.
Yeah, if my memories can serve me right again, during this match we'll go play in Guinea, there was an issue about COVID-19 in which we for play the game one day, we're not able to play the game one day, then get for play the game a second day. Well, me no say African Africa. Me no say family talk we can talk am. We no me no say I mean people like him we get magic. Not all with man, even with man themselves get magic, but Africans we get extra magic where we can make things work in some cases. It was very, very irresponsible for the government for us the people for go to stadium in masses at that time. Very irresponsible. Where according to what me know, the president had been briefed a week or two earlier, said this COVID, it don't get a rise. What did they really, really bother me about this COVID in rise? During the first wave of the COVID vaccine, of the COVID outburst, according to the president, we were given $1 million for this COVID. Among the things that where that money they been there for, now for the health facilities, for boost up the health facilities, and in not a secret, one of the tools them, or one of the things them, what would they take for fight COVID-19, or one of the weapons what they use for fight COVID-19, now oxygen. When you get oxygen, your tendency for live long is better than when you not get them at all. And and another thing where we they take for fight COVID-19 na food. Because if you not get good stamina, you not go able for fight any thing where they can fetch you immune system. And I believe say WHO will think well about we when they're Africa, and that make it be give every country money. Say COVID they come during the time when they lockdown and everything, which was worldwide. If we all can remember, we see say Guinea, they been go and go buy hospital equipment, brand new motor car them prepared in case of any ola. But in we own case, what we see with president to do, na Pajero they been go buy for the coordinators. Then the rice way we the giwi for let them go divide to the people them. It end up in a foundation where now you will belong to the foundation. Now you they get the rice. The poor people they wear not them the rice therefore it not reach the Anna. So not that people they not believe say COVID deal. But my dear sister, how you don't go sit down inside you also you not getting for it. According to the WHO and all the food and agriculture, angry don't boku. 3 years ago, now been 3,000 for 2,000 for three corporates for 5,000. Now 3 corporates are 75. So angry don't boku. So you get for consider them thing and they too. All that one they go cause the increase.
I want to make we listen to a video from somebody I believe saying up in the health department. I'm not too. I think I'm not. I know one saying as of been Solomon Jamiu. I'm not too sure. But more listen to what he say, and then we go to the SLBC the young publication, and then we go push and go before small.
According to the press release, by tomorrow, members of the public or staff of every government institution will not be allowed within the premise of the office, within the premise of their working place, without without producing the vaccination card. So by tomorrow, if you do not produce this vaccination card, you will not be allowed to enter the banks, or you will not be allowed to enter government buildings.
It was a show of force, flanked by top security aides, The chiefs and stakeholders from a cross-section of the Kono district, as the Dikovac coordinator Reverend Samuel Sassam announced the new COVID measures as the country faces its third wave of COVID-19. These measures are not new to residents in this part of the country, but the new measure that ministries, departments, and agencies, including banks, will not be accessed by employees and members of the public with proof of at least one dose of COVID-19 vaccination has caused pandemonium.
Well, I'm here at the government hospital in Kono, where, as you can see, this is where the coordinator for Dikovac has asked people that you should come and be vaccinated. As you can see in the government hospital here, things seem to be in disarray.
As a matter of fact, my presence here is in compliance with the pronouncement of the Dikovac coordinator. But you know, as we speak, it is unfortunate that the process for me is not effective. Like if you take a look at the vaccinator, who is not there now, you look at the arrangement of the beneficiaries coming, for me it's not even in compliance with the COVID-19 standards.
The challenge is too much, especially like the female. The man that used to issue out the card for you to have access to register for the vaccines, because of overpopulation and there is too much fighting, women don't have any access to the card.
Because of these new developments, the medical superintendent of the Koidu Government Hospital, Dr. Daniel Labali, says they are working frantically to remedy the situation.
The whole thing about this, because government wants to protect its people. So you see, not that government is forcing people, is coercing people to do it, but the government is saying that people should see reason for them to be vaccinated. Now the cutoff age has gone down to 30. So you see, massive people, huge amount of people are now coming to be vaccinated. So based on that, because it was only yesterday, and now today we have put modalities in place in line with the Dikovac, together with the Dikovac, in which we will be expanding the vaccination sites from the EPI department, and then another station will be established at the Dikovac Center.
Dwight Neal, AYB News, Kono District, Eastern Sierra Leone.
See, my question where I get first of all is who that can write them press release here so? Who that can sit down at the strategy, the room, the strategic room? Who that can sit down at the you know the media and the strategic room when then the craft then kind speech then also. Even before you go on in public, whether written statement or video taped statement, you get strategists then where you dey work with for make sure say the language of your messaging is tailored to the appropriate situation. Other craft I go really go on for no other, and also the people that working them as authorities then. Give me a second. The people that working them as authorities then. As you know, authority figures them when some of these messages are being read and then feel say then they within them powers and then they within their right for exact dominance on people then. How can you say you live in a democratic society, a society where get rules and laws, where get freedoms, then you go tell somebody say, in no allow for go into the premise of a government building, a building where na in tax money they pay, for go conduct in affairs when na the designated place because you say you no get vaccine. Then secondly, you fail for provide the vaccine for the person. Thirdly, you fail for sensitize the person as to why it is important for them to get that vaccine day. Fourthly, it is their choice to choose to have the vaccine or not to have the vaccine. Wetin can make una can fail to say una don't reach such an echelon where una can trample on the rights of people them and think that you can go scot-free with it without any consequences whatsoever. Why?
You know, I was flabbergasted when I in a press conference there. I was really I was like, wait till are you really fine? Or anyway, to say the truth, everything about this government is this particular government is like pauper and dictatorship. Even some of the laws them where they make, they're not they consult people them. They do things how they want. But I'm glad the backlash will come out of that, because immediately that nonsense they come out, the banks have put commercial banks have pull out a statement. But I think to
Yeah.
say the rate in which the people are ready for go pull their money and then bank them, they no say they know they play. Then I think to say somebody will get a serious aid, we go ask them, say, wait, oh, in I get 600,000 vaccine, in our population are 7 million. How in I will expect 600 to 7 million? Wait, I mean, I don't know
So,
if then
like I
people they
said,
actually say,
the eligible, like I've been they say right now, the eligible, the one that will qualify for get this vaccine, when you round up the figure, they're about 4.7 million. You get 600,000 vaccine, and then you demand now 4.7 million. Then you go put law say, if that 4.7 million, they not show you paper for sure, say at least they don't get one vaccine, they not go enter into a building when I then they
yeah,
pay
because
for when I then they
I will
when I
tell
the money they
I
pay
will,
for your salary for working at that building day. Make I read
yeah,
the
I will tell you,
SLBC. They can read the SLBC press release and I go make you come
Matilda,
back inside.
Matilda, all
Go
of this
ahead.
is to suppress the 2%. All of these laws, pay attention, it is now for suppress the 2%. Because now the 2% know the right say, me na Jehovah Witness, me na Muslim. Some of the Muslim law not allow them for do all the thing they do. They can make all that foolishness they apply, but they not go do outside the educated people in day. Because you know they force nobody for go take medical. So all of that now for suppress the 2%. You can go ahead.
And then the SLBC now the enforcement don't rush for pull statements say people not for enter the institution if they not show card
Yes.
and then there was a backlash, a very
Oh
like
yes.
automatic swift, and then people say okay,
Everybody was
if
going
we
for
not
their
allow
money.
for come inside your institution for can take the money where we put inside your bank when I they make you they
Yes.
exist, guess what? The market is
Oh
free.
yeah.
It's a free market. There is open competition. There is another bank
Right.
that will allow me walk in there and I not get for show them paper say I don't take vaccine. So una look look the paper we say I don't take vaccine. So I can't take me money now we sit down inside on a bank. So people started saying, if this is how it's going to go down, una go withdraw una money from SLBC.
Oh yes.
Una withdraw una money from SLBC. And immediately when they realize that people are serious, people are actually putting motions for go withdraw the money, they enclose their bank accounts, then they come out with this statement. And I read, SLBC, notice to customer, Sierra Leone Commercial Bank Limited wishes to encourage its numerous customers to observe the COVID-19 protocols as per the National COVID-19 Emergency Response Center NACOVAC public notice of 17th June 2021. Customers are further encouraged to properly wear face mask and wash hands at the wash station provided at our branches. This notice surpasses our earlier internal circulate what circular of 22nd June 2021. We thank you for your continued confidence and loyalty, the management. But you see, that notice they one have been put before, not to be an internal notice. And if even it was an internal notice, did the bank provide vaccine for all of its staff? Did the bank make sure they made arrangements for provide vaccine for all of its staff and give the rights
to the staff therefore can't take the vaccines and the staff they not take the vaccine. I mean, some of them say, well, now they impose on get what they think about the human rights laws and how sometimes these things borderline, in a borderline human rights violations. I will come to Kahara Kishin, make her go to the phone line because today is open mic. Call her waiting at your name and who say you they call from.
Yeah, this is Mike at the call from Philadelphia.
Okay, Mike, what you get for we this evening, Tim?
Well, I want to tell Sierra Leoneans they say I don't really appreciate the jump whenever they jump up and down that wheel the other day, and it really, I mean, just disgusting for Sudan, it pain me for Sudan, my own people and they behave that way. It's very just irresponsible for a Sierra Leonean for do that one. Them say not to think a war for it or for worry for it. Them say I think a war for protect. I don't really appreciate that. They are not do them type thing they get. It look bad to the whole world. What they do them thing next again, come to the government. The government, they're just irresponsible. Completely, they're not responsible for anything. All right. They say that they talk about this corona, but then when they supposed to protect the people from the corona, and they say they don't care about the corona. Most of the government officials, they know they wear masks. Most of the government officials are not vaccinated, and most of them don't care about this corona. Even up to the Narcovac boss, within a TikTok now, they advertise what the new wave, They don't care about it, yeah. So, even when Salone qualify for go African Nations Cup, they're not isolated. So they footballer they did, and at this they all come and they all go back to the stadium day. They're not just scared. You want to vaccinate the whole country, but you don't get enough vaccines. The caring for the people of the country is the problem nowadays. And we as Sierra Leoneans, we need to know how much we worth to them people, yeah. Because everywhere, they treat we like we're not human beings. Then they treat we like, let's say we're not slaves to them. When we vote for them, let them become who that they be today. Before they be who that they be today, then there be nothing. Completely nothing. They're not being nothing. Now then they sit down, they drive SUV, they're fitting at their own money, but they're not realizing that the country in money and they spend so. They allow sensitize to people. A lot of people they know. Even to this cyber crime what they bring so. Country they internet business heavy expensive. Internet not strong at the country. The internet is very expensive. When I know they try to put things in place, when I just account with cyber crime, Salone, man. The things are too much. It's too much. Look Connaught Hospital. Look Cottage Hospital. They not even do nothing towards fixing anything, but then just Salone. It's just frustrating. And they go pass law there where we say Abbas Bundu is illegal. Absolutely illegal in that parliament day. Nobody vote for him for like day. So all the law they are when they pass, they don't even make no sense. No sense at all. No continue no more where they go so, but the direction where they go, it's not fine for Salone. How to all wake up. Now my own contribution only.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. Well, the phone lines open, people. Tonight is open mic. The phone lines are open. I go to Madam Daphne. Before I read the letter, the statement from the government, make a gear, making safe Rob Mud Small, and then we'll go read the statement from the government, and then waiting now the head of the NACOVAC in the say.
Well, what did this be brother talk? Now the right thing. And now the same thing we self talk now and say one of the measures the way the government for put in place now for sensitize the people and let them know say if they can't thing they happen next time they will they are wash come back on shore. Make them know how for treat they will they are. But I want remember you something and Miss Matilda. I want to remember you something. I think said this about 2 years ago. Say you don't follow me for too long. So you remember there was an issue in which there was a boat right at the John Obey, where be the drill na the water. You remember that issue there with Candidates to Jallo, the director of fisheries. You forget that issue there? When there was a boat, some Chinese vessel, right at the John Obey, the bay for come inside Sierra Leone, where, you know, that mean the drill, where, you remember that incident today?
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
Okay, after we go on there, when you the talk just now, my mind just go to that incident today. Say them in the drill right na them place the day. Now the bay for come inside Freetown. When a deep water, you remember that incident today? Well, I just left us. You know, it just clicked me mind. Maybe they do something on our side there where caused, you know, because I just think for 2 years now this thing don't they happen. You know? Anyway, now we can't sing it out. I don't want to spill a beans. I don't want to put anybody into any confusion, or I don't want to talk anything where somebody go get go be locked up, you know what I mean? But I just think about that day, and I been get a very big backlash again about for that issue there, where even the director of fisheries, Khadija Tujalo, me even get her hopes, say block me online page. And now me brother don't talk so. Again, like what me brother they say, we all get for you know left we go talk them, but it left to the government for let them do waiting they can, for make them begin educate people around the ocean bed. Let them know say, in case then they see things there like a dandy, not of a jump on top of them, not of a take picture with them. Now mama say we need for safe, because then thing that they get see what they do for we within a land. Now that one the people they don't know. Not because they don't want to see you, they get see what they do for me and you na land.
Yeah.
So do your next them, the people them. Let we know they do treat the animal that they bad. Do your big.
Exactly. I want to go to the press release, because in as much as yes, the government they make a fuss about people they need for be vaccinated, they can put this draconian law way very quickly, then realize say we think we have stepped on hot waters, we don't cross the line here, we don't cross certain boundaries, and people know their rights, and they are not going to sit and have us trample over their rights, then come back, then retract some of the statements the way they make. Now, there is also another layer to this where they forget, and that is why sensitization, coercing. You get for mente the people them at some point. Even at this Canada, so there are people who don't want to take the vaccines, and people like us advocate, okay, take the vaccines, it won't do this, it is that, you know. Even at the first world, with all the advances, medical advancement where they get, there are people who are very skeptical about taking the vaccine, and even within the black community,
I am one of them. I am one of them. I'm very skeptical about taking the vaccine. Like I said, I've been in America here for 23 years. I have never, even when I was in the medical field, I have never taken the flu vaccine. I do not like injection. I'm allergic to injection. I don't want nothing to do with injection. So I'm not saying people should not take it, but even in New Jersey that I'm in right now, they tell you you vaccine, you don't vaccine, you can go to the store without no mask. But for me, the thing that I know I'm not I've not been vaccinated, I wear my mask. You know, and like I said, you know, Matilda, this is something that one thing I have observed about our government is they don't have what they call continuity. They not they continue anything. They just they begin like bayang baya. They start this the left and they start this the left and they start this the left. I remember say when this corona be just begin, Me now one of them one day we force begin make awareness to people. They say corona deo, in a was in a ano, in a do this so, in a do that. And they mean one of them one day we begin. But again, from that 10 day till now, when when we won't get a spike, we gladly. When we talk, when the spike come down, we complacent. I remember too, because at the time when Facebook been block me, about a month ago, there was a heavy delegation that came from India to Sierra Leone. Heavy delegation that came from India to Sierra Leone. And about that same time, let us be frank, if you can remember that the time when this COVID, this third wave, we don't take up in India. When they not even even they be not the people that be so they die in India that then they burn the whole the streets. The people out of other countries, we never go help them for later waiting and save for burying the dead. We see all that one day, but during that time, we your government be they allow people them for come on and then one area the day for can mix with people them. You understand? They not mean they take no precaution. Up to last week, it is only this week that people they commend the new measures, even when they now na lunge, because according to Trevor, we just go 2 days ago. You understand? That now people the government they take a measure, a preventive measure or constructive measure. But a week ago, we see another lady we go freedom, where they tell you say in a all welcome out abroad, in a all go then a one room. So then a 30 then a one room, one person catch when the other people the immune system not strong. It becomes a disaster. You know, we government they not get continuation. Now at once we sing bayang bayang, bayang bayang bayang, bayang bayang bayang, and when they do the bayang bayang bayang, then not they go show we. They don't feel to say we've dumb. Then for kind of order we say do this. No. I get me right. It's just like when we want to talk about another very very important point. For this this people what I will call just now. It talk about the cyber law. Or the cyber bill.
Make we not go under it, because if we go under, then the show go capsize, and I know I make the show capsize. I want to make the show there. Yeah. So I go issue the other thing where I want to talk about, even with this rising in COVID, this third wave, is that why I say the government get for maintain people, it get for sensitize them, it get for educate them, and at the same time it get for respect their civil liberties and rights, right? It get for respect their human rights. It get for respect their human rights, it get for respect them freedom. Because we know say in every situation, every medication, people react. It no matter waiting. 100,000 people can take the same medication, but one person go take that medication, they go react to that medication. We all know that. Same with vaccine, same with these things. So people have reacted. We also know that people that don't take the vaccine na Salone, we don't die. But again, we cannot automatically say that the vaccine, for them taking the vaccine was the sole reason why it led to their death, because we don't know which other underlying causes them, which underlying diseases them, which underlying sicknesses them in they deal with. And then maybe they can't take that vaccine then now, and then the vaccine, no agree with whatever them in they suffer with, then it lead to death. So we cannot,
or they will take another medication when interact with that with the vaccine.
Exactly. So we cannot, make I repeat this again, please, people. We cannot say never, ever, please, for the propagate that message say this vaccine they kill people them. The vaccine where then they gain a Salone they kill people them. I am completely against it. I say it is wrong, because we know people that we don't take the vaccine that have fine, but we also know for say with drug, with narcotic, no matter whatever, there are bound to be reactions. Not to all man's system make the same. Not to all man's system, they tolerate certain drugs then, drug combinations then the same way. you know. So yes, to the one them we unfortunately then go take the vaccine and then they happen forget some reaction and you know it caused to them death. We say may their soul rest in peace. You know, may the family find comfort. But I don't want for make people them, you know, get that message say the vaccine kills. Do not take the vaccine because the vaccine is a killer and a poison they don't put. I don't hear anything they go on now about light where you to go take the vaccine, the hand where then give you the vaccine pan, if you put bulb pan I the light, all those sorts of nonsense. Please, people, we make we dey try for educate with people them, we will get small sense, make we dey try for teach them better, we will get small sense. I want go to the video where Solomon Jamiru, the NACOVAC head, release for confirm say the Delta strain, the Delta variant don't reach inside Salone. And that Delta variant, the thing about them is that within we can for observe about COVID, the different variants is that, you know, Obayaso, they mean they thrive, they mean like cold. And when the weather cold now, I mean they thrive, I mean they do well. You know, the thing, the sick being boku, being rampant. But the difference with the Delta strain is that in like warm weather. And also we can sit down na Salone, na warm weather. So we get for take every precautionary measure possible. We get for do everything in our power for make sure say this thing also not spread like wildfire, because the reports the why they get confirmed already from people the way I trust, from people the way I know for say they are on the ground, they are in the medical field, they are working day in day out. The numbers the why they hear, the confirmations the why they get, it's not looking good, it's looking glim. And on top of that, the fact that say the oxygen when in a one of the primary equipments them or thing when we need for combat this disease, we not get them sufficiently in our Salone. The one then when we get, patients are being asked to pay 2 million a day. 2 million a day. Just imagine when they can't go inside the bread and butter issue just now, make we see almost 1 cup garri cost. We man not get for buy 1 cup garri for send 1 bomb and go down. Then they go ask him if in person sick for go pay 2 million a day for making it under the oxygen machine. I heard of a story where the man they call in people they oversee in people in America say una send the money or una send the money and for because of the privacy of this person, I'm not going to release that audio or release that video because of privacy. Una send the money or na the tank don't have so. Now the tank don't have so. If the money not reach before the tank done, now in that one I die, they die so. This not the last one I go hear from me. That is so heart rending.
I even know one who that before that they try for sending money because of oxygen in there. And I've waka go waka.
You know? Yeah, I heard of that case as well, where the person was in the US, went for vacation in Sierra Leone, they whatever, and then it was bad. You know, for living a country where you did an other man country, you get all the amenities, all the security, all the basics, and then you go na your own country. The country who side and bury you never. The country that you are so proud of. And then to be let down in that manner, for die for something so as you know, as basic as that. It is heart-rending. It is very heart-rending. I will make the technical team play this video for giving the confirmation of the fact that the Delta variant is in Sierra Leone.
Hello everyone, I am Solomon Jamiru, NACOVAC spokesperson. As Sierra Leone is currently witnessing a third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, defined by increased positivity rates, increased hospitalization, and additional deaths registered, I can confirm that based on genomic sequencing, the Indian variant, otherwise known as Delta, as advised by WHO and CDC as the dominant variant globally, has been detected in 2 female samples in Sierra Leone. This calls for extra vigilance. Wear your face mask. Get vaccinated now if you're past 30 years. And get your family, friends, colleagues, and community to do likewise. Thank you.
The message is good. The message is good. Get vaccinated now. Get your family, friends, colleagues, and people around your area and community to do likewise. But where the vaccine? Where the vaccine?
And the point is they're not even do the right thing, because right now the time where they for teach and for tell the people them preventive measures, because they do not even have the solution. So now if we be on preventive measure, on washing hands, on social distancing, on the preventive measures. But now you dey go find a solution where we not even get a solution. When you for the talk about waiting for prevent them, waiting for stop the spread. You got the preventive measure we dey on. Now you dey talk about solution where you not even get. Even the hospital do not even have oxygen. The hospital do not get oxygen. So you dey talk about vaccine.
Not only the oxygen, not only the oxygen. If even self the hospital get oxygen, light instability, for run the oxygen tank, for make sure say the light, you need constant light.
Right.
We know for
You need
the
gloves.
hospitals in a salon, the not automatic, the generator, they're not kicking immediately when lights go off. So there is a whole combination of things that should work, that is not working, that is making people, lose their loved ones in these hospitals.
Right. You are
Oh
so
boy.
right. You are right. You are so right, my sister.
When I get to this point, I get emotional. I get very, very emotional because people are dying for no good reason. For
no reason.
unjustifiable reasons. People are dying. People are dying while others are basking in air conditions and eating fowls and chicken and meat and goats and cows.
You know, one good thing that this COVID-19 has done for me, I believe you do not know about it yet. Maybe you'll hear about it tomorrow. There were some ladies, girls that were supposed to have been sent to Saudi Arabia. Because of the COVID-19, they've been sent back home. So that's a good thing. And I hope so when for talk to our sister, they make them not go Panaka and deal in Saudi. Because they will not go keep them na hotel. They lie to them. I hope say when they don't go now they host them, they will know the reason why make them not for go Saudi for go work for $240 for 1 month, which is $115 an hour. That's a good thing. That's a breaking news.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the other, I want to read the letter by the government of Ministry of Health and Sanitation. I want for make I ask the technical team, make them project that letter day and make we talk about that small, even as we go inside the bread and butter issue. When we they talk about the bread and butter issue, we can see now how having this COVID, this third wave, not having the proper modalities, not having the proper structures, not having food, how all of
The
that,
basic.
they lead into a very colossal outcome.
Oh yes.
I go read the press release from the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, and I read. I don't know if a technical team can able stretch them a little bit for me, but that's fine. Since it's projected, I'll try to read it. I read, suspected COVID vaccine related death under investigation. Freetown, Wednesday, 24th June 2021. Alert. The Ministry of Health and Sanitation has received information of the sudden death of a 50-year-old female healthcare worker attached to PCMH Hospital On Thursday, June 22nd, 2021, the female healthcare worker, name withheld to maintain confidentiality, has received her first dose of COVID-19 vaccine on Monday, 21st June. The Ministry of Health and Sanitization takes another potential side effect of the vaccine seriously and is conducting, in collaboration with NACOVAC, further investigation to determine whether the incident is related to the administered COVID-19 vaccine. The ministry will inform the public as further information becomes available. The deceased was a known chronic asthmatic on medication. She experienced asthmatic attack, especially on exposure to cold weather, which was usually relieved by medication at home, inhaler. Monday, June 21st, 2021. The healthcare worker felt normal and without any coercion or persuasion, voluntarily received her first dose of COVID-19 vaccine at exactly 8:57 a.m. She worked throughout the day with no reported concerns. Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021, the healthcare worker went through her normal work routine without reporting any health-related concerns. That evening, she returned home and ate dinner. During dinner, at about 5:30 p.m., she reported chest heaviness, pain, and cough. As usual, she was given a inhaler, but the condition worsened. The family decided to take her to hospital. However, she died at 6:30 p.m. before reaching the hospital. The Ministry of Health and Sanitation has systematically investigated all incidents suspected to relate to the administration of the COVID-19 vaccine and brought to its attention. Available data shows that these vaccines are safe and effective. Since the introduction of the vaccine in Sierra Leone in March 15, over 1,500 doses of COVID-19 vaccines have been administered across the country with no incident associated with the administration of the vaccine. The public is encouraged to report any potential serious side effects by calling 099117 or 117, and in case of serious sickness or emergency to, as always, seek medical assistance immediately. This is all well and good, but what happened to the 177 number last Friday? What happened to the 177 number last Saturday when 10 people were confirmed to have tested positive and no one could be reached? Instead, when they were finally reached, the patients were asked to pay the transportation of the NACOVAC people to come get them to treatment centers. It is all well and good on paper, but the applicability is where it lies.
Yeah, because I believe the COVID funds have been depreciated. They don't use the money because they not be expect like what I said, $1 million. Nine WHO as the president say, that been give for this COVID. And you see, say during that time, the COVID not be really there. Now the COVID don't rampant. this third strain. And in actual fact, money not there again. The money where they be give for where they be give for COVID, they be not take and buy pajero. They be not use and put on a foundation, not go donate rest. Go do so money not there in actual fact. When you get a government will care about the people in a plan. COVID-19, everybody knows saying oxygen. Neither the fighter. But even when America, London, and all cyber, all side of the world, when this COVID come, we not say na oxygen. But we own country, we own government, they're not care about the people. Just like when people want to say, they're not a plan for the people. They're only the plan for themselves. Because if then they plan for the people, they're gonna not say. I mean, I can remember. Maybe memory is not big low, but we normally do oxygen at Sierra Leone at one time. I believe so. They do oxygen at Sierra
I haven't looked into that, and maybe I'm too young to know that. That will have to be a research that I will have to do to confirm
I
that.
remember.
That is not something
I
that I
remember
can
when
confirm.
we get to our oxygen factory. Some people they work at oxygen factory. I can remember. But again, one would not say this kind sickness day, just like Ebola where it been day, like that make Ebola where come back in Guinea, then fast and quick because they be not prepared, they be don't know how Ebola they come. But again, we own country, I mean, not a secret, the WHO, they may know the effects of corona. They may know how Europe lockdown. That's so Africa get for lockdown. They may know say wave get for car, wave get for pass America wave. Now that make them don't give him money for low prepare. But when we get a president who not care about the people, they only care about themselves. Because if you care about the people, you for don't think ahead. This thing whether they tell we so for the mere fact that when we footballer them go play, they don't tell them say 5 of them get COVID. Who side them 5 then they come on a Salone? Why they for not seclude them boys a day? So whether they come back safe na free tongue, they for give them that 14 days quarantine.
Okay, so again, fact checking. Una can say making like for do fact checking. Fact checking is I go ask the technical team make them project that for me again, so that I go read them out loud to the world for your technical team. Can you please project that for me again, so that I can just do fact checking? The answer is yes. Kasada Kitchen is right. Yes, there was an oxygen factory at Kisi Dockyard in the eastern of Freetown. There was an oxygen factory at Kisi Dockyard in the eastern of Freetown. So yes, Kasada Kitchen in memory serve and right, where he say was Sierra Leone not a producer of oxygen at some point. So fact checking again, because I say I'm too young for know that. So we technical team do a quick fact check and said yes, there was an oxygen factory at Kisi Dockyard at the eastern of Freetown. So just imagine a country where they produce oxygen at one point. Now that country
And we the
citizens are deprived of oxygen. Can you imagine? A country where once was a producer of oxygen is now begging for oxygen for its people.
I can remember. I remember it was even during there was a time where I can remember that Sierra Leone they send oxygen to Ghana from Sierra Leone. I remember that time. Yes. So it's also I'm like, no, but Sierra Leone should be having oxygen. We never get oxygen problem, because we were producer of oxygen, and oxygen are natural something. It's just that I don't know. Well, that can't see the day.
Exactly.
It's
Well,
a
to the
good country
viewers, the phone
government.
lines are open. To the viewers, the phone lines are open. Today an open mic. Even as we they discuss, they go along at any time on a call. And they stop the discussion for take una call, for make una give una contribution. So now make we can where they can say now make we can cross this thing so together. Make we can tie them. And for tie this thing so make we can look into the bread and butter issue. If man not get for it, who side they go pull 2 million for go pay for oxygen tank per day? This 2 million is not while you are hospitalized, by the way, it is per day. The 2 million
Oh,
for the oxygen na per day. So just
that are
just let that
$200.
sit with you. Yes, $200 a day. Let that sit with you for a moment while we now here waiting not a WHO, the World Food Program, WFP. Then they say about Sierra
Yeah.
Leone. Okay, they say we get a caller, make I take that call day, and then we will go to waiting WFP. Then they talk about Sierra Leone currently. Caller, waiting are your name and also you they call from.
Hello, my name is Abdullah. I call from New Jersey, US.
Okay, Abdullah, what do you get for with this event?
I actually just joined the program, but there are two areas I need clarification. You don't see the ask. I'm not sure. See, I don't get any factual answer. One, now about the NACOVAX stance on the vaccine, the public vaccination. I understand, say, Sierra Leone. I don't know because I'm never here in any other country in the world. I understand, say, anybody will not get the vaccine or a proof of at least one dose of the vaccine, no go access any public building. I don't know if na rumor because you are on the propaganda boku, but I want to get that clear here.
Okay,
The second,
so I can. Okay, so for your first question, I can confirm to you say yes. Initially, Nadande them been say, but because of the public backlash, they don't retract that clause there now. Initially, that's what they said.
oh, good, good. Well, thank God, because the things here see alone are the only side where that's happened. So that not be a surprise. The second thing about the vehicle where government been buy using COVID-19 funds. I don't know if not the WHO or whatever donor been help support Sierra Leone with. I want to get clear prior to the buying of them vehicles today for resident ministers, if I correct that side. These resident ministers not been get any official vehicle. And if they may get at all, we government use the money with other countries they use in very reasonable way, like the Gambia, for example. I see a whole plane go with ambulances. We
Oh,
up to all the
yes.
top. Every chiefdom gets ambulance in Sierra Leone. I don't know whether any idea that one day, if not the resident minister, I not been get vehicle, or I really need clarification because sometimes when I want to get a conversation with other people, I'm not sure, but I want really know who sense it will make. If them people in there, I believe, say, I'm not ever then I see a new resident ministers and not get official vehicle. Maybe under this administration, they not ever get. Maybe for the first time they won't buy them for them. I want clarification on that too. If they may get old one, then why them money are them for buying new vehicles for them, as opposed to buying ambulances, where at least every chief don't forget one ambulance. Instead of them put 6 people in Okada for drive them, like pregnant women. I don't see a situation in Sierra Leone where a pregnant woman for going to hospital now Okada and they put her. Risk upon risk. Even the man where they ride the Okada not safe by the road network in Sierra Leone. So less of you putting somebody who is sick or pregnant, now Okada for care in a hospital, all them thing and they I don't know who we authorities and sense they go these days. So please give me clarification on the side in there. Thank you.
Okay, so the clarification, I go refer you to an AYV interview last year. If you're able to find that interview there, that will give you the answer you need on these vehicles, where the
Really
procurement
ask Emerson. Emerson is singing for them.
where the procurement director together with somebody else get an argument as in No, na SUV we buy. No, not to SUV. Na use vehicle. No, not to use vehicle. Na Sudan. Basically, what has happened was it was a misalignment of priorities. It was they used the money for a payoff system, not because these ministers did not have vehicles, but to satisfy the pandering of certain people. They misused the money, they misappropriated the money, and then convert them into areas them where they not been supposed to convert them. And if you have been listening to the debate, you know for say that create a very big public backlash, outcry, as in this money where the European Union donates to the money where the World Health Organization donates to the money where other donors then donate to from the basket fund. And so listen, we are dealing with our own while we are going through our waters. We know that you will go through your own waters. Utilize this wisely. But somehow, priorities were misplaced, and now we see the consequences. Now, then I go get for say, I won't go further into that. If you understand the explanation of what I just say, then you have your answer. I will go to the next caller. Caller, waiting at your name and who say you the call from.
I'm Michael State from Virginia, US.
Okay, Michael, what do you get for we this evening?
I only have probably one or two questions. I usually watch you late at night on your reruns on YouTube, and tonight I'm home a little early, so I'm watching you. I see something consistent on your show. You always highlight the ills and wrongs of the government. Does this government do anything right, in your opinion? I'm just curious. Because every show I've watched, you had some ex-military guys on there. They were bashing. One said he was an exile. Now you bring this lady. She's funny. She's usually on social media. I'm glad she's on your show. I'm able to see her live. She for me, she's funny. But I want to know: does this government do anything right at all? Based on what I've seen, I haven't seen you say anything good about them. And prior to all of these bad stuff, how was it prior to 2018 when they came to power? Was everything rosy?
Okay. So, okay, thank you very much. Is that all? Because I would love to answer your question.
Sure. That's all I have. I mean, I know there are other colors. I don't want to hold you up.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you very much, caller. You see, this is the thing about me. They say consistency is key. Consistency proves, and whatnot. So here is what I'm going to say. If you've only been watching me, I don't know for how long you've been watching me. Does the government do things that are right? When they get it right, yes, I will say they get it right. When they get it right, you can come on VOS. Yes, we will post about them getting it right. But at the end of the day, I'm not here to praise government about what they do right. I'm here to see the loopholes and call out the loopholes and say, these are the loopholes, these are the gaps, these are where you need to focus on. I'm here to see and to point out key things that are being left out, or key things that are being misprioritized or not being put into the forefront. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to pander, to applaud, and to set to set on high, and put the government to a higher echelon and make them demigods, that they forget that they are human beings who were voted into power for the people, by the people, to do the people's work. So for me, when you do the people's work, yes, you will be applauded. But in as so much as you fail to do the people's work, guess what? You will be called into question about not doing the people's work. And for you, and in answering the second part of your question, which says prior to 2018 was everything right. No, everything wasn't perfect. And here is where you have to know the individual, the personhood sitting before you tonight, to know that everything wasn't perfect and to know that this has been my tone and it has been consistent. Then maybe I'll invite you to go back to my writings, because then I wrote a lot, I didn't speak a lot. To the latter end, I spoke quite a bit. So to the latter 4 years, I spoke quite a bit. But now I've come to realize that, listen, I was talking to my kind. I was talking to the elites within the society. I wasn't talking to the people, because my writing, in as so far as it delves into very serious and critical issues, however, realizing the base of our nation in terms of educational level, in terms of educational comprehension, I realized that I was doing my people a disservice in penning down my thoughts rather than saying them out loud. I hope I've answered your question. I'll go to the next caller. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yes, caller.
Hello,
What's your name and yes.
this is Abdullah again, the call from New Jersey, US.
Okay, go ahead, Abdullah.
Actually, the call in response to the previous caller. Also, we ask if there's anything good with this government they do. We not seem for the area. You on a viewers particularly. I mean, generally, they talk about the good things that with this government they do. You see, these are some of the things that we will talk about. I guess people then will even say, "Oh, just 3-year-old government. What do I expect them for? Do we expect them for miracle, or was everything rosy about the previous government?" The answer is no to the last question. Not everything was rosy about the previous government. And besides the question of saying a 3-year-old government, this whole thing started even in the first 6 months when people pointed out wrongdoings. People say, "Oh, a government will just come in 6 months." It went to a year. People say, "Oh, just 1-year-old government." It go 2 years, now 3 years. Now the 11-year previous government, where all of them they blame today. Those 11 years started from 1 year up to 3 years as we speak today. So are these callers of this nature saying we have to wait until after another 11 years to point out the weaknesses of this government or the wrongdoings? We are talking of sensitive issues then. This crisis, we blame the previous government on disasters like Ebola mudslide, misuse or mismanagement of funds. Now, this government just came in 3 years. Corona, we're not even devastating as Sierra Leone compared to Ebola. We get money where people they mismanage. Instead of them use the money appropriately, they misappropriate the money. So it's wrong to let people then say that. Anybody will, as far as I am concerned, say this government too young to make them question them. Not only they insult the Sierra Leonean people for the decision we take in 2018 for demand a change, which was successful, with a very disconnected thoughts to the realities of waiting they happen at Sierra Leone. So it's very unpatriotic that somebody feels that people are not to point out wrongdoings of this government just because they just start or then a power in 3 years. So then let me try to be sincere to our consciences. As Sierra Leoneans, we truly love Sierra Leone. The good things that with this government did it. But what does it mean when the wrongdoings and the things that the country need, we know they go according to the expectation? What it mean if they do one thing and the one good thing and the wrong things then countless? Why we not for point out the wrongdoings? Why we need for the bring the one good thing where the government they do? This now kind of color. This now a Sierra Leonean the class of Sierra Leoneans we feel say as government do one right thing, let we sing them and cover up the wrongdoing. But not that people demand the change for. If people demand change, for them same thing already happen. So because if it happen, Now the previous administration, wait for 11 years, the country not even get even water for drink up to what they talk so. Now, if anybody will say, "Oh, what are the good things?" Yes, but the answer to that is the bad things they will need to do. Them boku, then even some of them even pass what you experienced in the previous government. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very
Yes,
much, caller. Go to the next caller. Sorry, make I just cue the callers then
Okay,
because
yes.
then don't they wait. Then we go come discuss. Caller, waiting are your name and also you the call from.
Hello.
Yes, caller, waiting are your name and also you the call from.
Hey, this is not the unknown caller from California.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
Hey, Brother Matilda, greet una Oleander, Casada Farm, una Cabo Cabo, una Cusheo, and una thank you for come out and call certain wrongs. May not they go far when I'm ready for talk because a plane na the table may they put all in. Uda no say the cap fit am, make it ready for take am up. The caller we call say from 2018 when BO government take power. Let him point out one good thing we BO do. Now the best answer or now the best answer than the owner for me don't game. Let him point out one. Maybe we don't know. And I believe so from where they take power, sectionalism, tribalism, despotism, all crazy stuff now in BO carry. Country where me unify, now we are divided. This Minde defeats the entire other tribes. Not all the Minde them because I get good people inside the Minde side. But the biggest thing or the biggest answer for you when I feel say a more appreciable now when I give you beyond do nothing, right? Then give them money for buy for take care of the corona just in case because in business you get what they call fail safe. You put contingency in plan just in case the thing happen. What thing they put in plan? Name one thing. That's now one thing. Let I go again to another thing for you quick. When I want for one. When they ready for go carry with them players them. We all go to the media, we say certain things, say we not feel saying a right thing for me kuna get a people and the dance come inside song where everybody they round up themselves. They're not agree for listening. Before that, Beyonce na get the key, it don't open the door so long man go dance na even like say na in score. We not even massive football the field. You see the trouble now where they happen. You see the trouble now where they happen. When people that don't begin die. Then you they come out say let the name one thing we build don't do. My brother, we are all Leone and let we face the truth. If we not face the truth, where you go meet God, you go able to issue face and answer and say, Papa, I don't come, oh, I don't do me own, which you send me for do. Now we face the truth. Bill have done nothing. Absolutely nothing. Then cybercrime me not get for catch me because my name big enough Salone. I make an call me name. I go the rights now, they know that. So make them very be careful and let everybody focus on the right thing. Thank you all.
Thank you, caller.
Yes,
We'll go to the next
one
caller.
got me what small for this
I know
guy.
say you must the catch for talk. Just hold on. Just hold on. Make her get the caller then get privilege today because now open mic. I know say you must the catch. I go give you 10. Caller waiting. No say they call from.
Yeah, this is not much from Philadelphia again, you know.
Okay, caller. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to say, you know, I know say some people in one will give the government credit, but we'll give them credit for the idea of the free education, just the idea, not to the implementation. We'll give them credit for repealing the libel law, but then they bring down the cyber law. So, you know, I mean, we'll give them credit for doing something else. We take out the credit from that. Yeah. All right. Look now. What they don't do wrong. 49,000 bags of rice missing. Nobody no accountable for that. Then they wrong. The killing of Pandiba Road, nobody is accountable for that. Then they wrong. The killing McKinney, nobody is accountable for that. Then they wrong. The blackouts where they go on at the country, Nobody is accountable for that. Where they take people the money and they get a light. That's wrong. Okay. The incompetence of all the ministers there, I want to know they do their job. And what would they talk about? Then they want to know and listen. That's wrong. And government, now we put them there. Now we the people the money then they use. So we don't need for compromise with them people there. We need to tell them the truth. How we want our country to go. If we sit down, we wait. When Salone they go bad, they would I mean, we not pay attention. And then they destroy the country. They take all the money. They would complain. What would they complain for? We don't need to complain. We need to tell them exactly what they do wrong. You know, if they're not in one area, let them go find other thing else to do. Let them go find another job. This is not a job for rule a country and take the country to the next level. And that's what we need. We don't need people who they can bring me back and then we talk and say, oh, this is not 3-year government or not 5-year government, 11-year government. No, we need the government to do the right thing. And that's what we need. The right thing for the people. I mean, contribution, man.
Okay, thank you very much, Kola. Make Kasada Kitchen talk. I go hold the cup for a little bit.
No, you know,
Okay,
it's so wonderful for later caller they ask me, say, you funny. You know, that's first of all, that's you insult me. You caller, you insult me. Maybe, you know, I go reserve that one day for you next time. Because I'm not a funny human being. Okay?
yeah.
I'm not a funny
So
woman.
basically,
I
exactly.
am a
So
woman of
basically,
class. I'm a woman of my words. I'm a woman who I say things as they are. Now only now you know say I'm funny because I dey speak the truth. But anyway, next time when you want to talk about who that funny, look who that they don't be a una bed and who that they put water on your table. If you know they look at two people that they not ever address me again as a funny, okay? A word for a wise is quite sufficient. I don't want to address you the way I can normally address people the way they want to address me like that. Now this
thank you
platform.
very much. I appreciate that, Kasada Kitchen, for making address this person in the way where you go normally, or the tone
Oh
where you
yes,
go
I mean
normally
normally
take up.
address them.
So
The
that color
Kutoron
there, I
statue
will
for
say
that
when we
matter.
they use words them, you know, the English language is a very, very, very interesting and complex language. For make you repeatedly, you know, when you say first I find her funny, you can take them as a
Yeah.
joke. But when you repeated it the second time, then I knew exactly what you were saying. And this is the problem we have in society sometimes. She's not a mad woman. She's not a crazy woman. You might not agree with her idea, her thought processes, or the way she chooses to engage. But what you cannot do, however, is to insult her intelligence, her personhood, and her womanhood. By repeating for the second and third time in the way you repeated the word funny, I knew what you were saying, and you're wrong for that. Absolutely wrong for that. Let's learn to respect people. Let's learn to respect their contribution to society. Even when we do not agree with them, let us respect them. That's all I will say on that. I will ask the technical team, make them roll the WFP video, make we rub mud small pandandi.
Now we the pikin that they cry for we. Work I get tired. The chop go work you cannot go with because tired. I give him pikin them. Me not go eat o. The one left up in a wood okay, I give them back. Me they suffer.
Rest don't go with the money all.
Well, where you gonna for tell you man like add back? Anybody knows right now the government is not easy for we at all. We'll try it again.
This now na manage no more, I guess for manage.
But mama, this your order to manager. That will be everybody na salon and a manager. First, they sell rest 3 cup 5,000. Now the rest don't go one wake up 2,000 use. And not to everybody they get that 2,000 for can buy rest.
Last year, after this corona don't come, this 20,000.
Well, the job business with me and my family is not easy with we at all because of the cost of living. Last year, we manage 5 couples for me and my picking. They would eat with the full to family. But this year now, these 3 couples just the manager because of the cost of living. The Maggie 1,000. 3 for 1,000. Who safe not to win at the transport? Now for low be who safe.
How will they buy fuel safe? First, from 7,000 to 8,500. That even give of course, even to have a passenger from Bo to Matru is not easy.
Where the salary is not increased, it still stop where it is. As from April last year up till now, we have stopped. We have no increase. Even when you are in classroom, then the child come and say, "I'm hungry." Your child, that will traumatize you. Will not be able to teach. You will go out, and when you come in the morning, even you as a matured person without food, you cannot do anything. And you leave your children to go to school without food. That all you will think about it. So you will not go into the class and teach well.
The malnutrition cases is increasing. From March up to April, we have now got 40 malnutrition under 5s children. They don't ganga. The father will get chops of that 9 men picking the way I get with that beyond the winner 5. Now the rest of the it's 15 cups. Now we don't reduct time to 9 cups.
Na ya come no go. Time na ga agba mo fe hi ga no ga me ro ta gi amo ta mo go. Ana na ha mo be mo gwa ma so ku go ga kru wo han kin ga fe no ga we.
Well, because here we do subsistence farming, and there is no mechanized. We are not doing mechanized farming. I only produce very small amount of food for my family, so I get very small yield. If it cannot take a year, then the crops will finish or the food will finish at home.
Me fumble them. Not to me talk amo. Not to Kasada Kichi talk amo. Not to nobody talk amo. This na a third party. This na the one where they take care of where body. Eat business na the wall. Where they look for see if country, if people can get enough for it, or if they at least they manage and they don't talk for say Salone 4.7 million people them. Not to half or past half of we people them. Then they live in very, very dire, very, very bad situation because they not get enough eat for it. The eat
No,
not
they go sleep, they not eat. Picking and they go sleep, they not eat.
Yes.
And you know,
people are going to sleep hungry day in, day out. When una they talk, when 2 years ago we begin talk about this pampas situation, una be feel saying a joke. These are the realities that led to the pamper. On top of the frustration, on top of the unemployment, on top of the access to, this food insecurity. Tea no dey for it.
It's also
belle woman they get belle thing for it for men the pikin where they go inside in belle. Let alone the strength for go push the pikin a do. Teacher then they go teach, they no get thing for give them young pikin then a host, let alone them for it for go teach and then pikin them for learn.
People and they send them pikin and go school, they not get tin for give them pikin them for eat. And they go to teacher and school say are angry. How do you want the kids to learn when they don't have food in their stomach? How do you want the teachers to teach when they don't have food in their stomach? How do you expect the parents to live when they cannot even afford food for theirs? But yet we see a president who say, oh, you know, I no mix pan propaganda, they go give una toma bomb. Can toma bomb feed the people right now, the 7.7 million people right now? Can toma bomb give them what they need right now, this very moment? Can toma bomb take us out of food insecurity to food security?
Matilda, if my memories can serve me right, during the first year of this president in presidency, if my memory, I think to say we get the fact checking team. The president may talk say he may not open a rice farm. Where during the first year, I remember when they go on a rice farm, when they show me the rice farm. We wonder what happened that rice farm there. We will not see that yet. When you they talk about the president or people the way they think about tomorrow, where they enlighten and calm. Me na Sierra Leonean, right? About a month ago, there was an issue in Kono district. I don't go Kono, but I not sabi Kono. And this issue when they happen at Kono, the government hospital in Kono, the maternity ward, women they dying at the maternity ward. Not all because of complication to the battle, because of hunger. Some comrades at the hospital, then they give them picking and Bobby. They know they give them picking and Bobby. You there with me?
Yes, we are here. We can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Maybe I don't go off.
No, go ahead.
I don't know. Maybe I've gone off. Somebody was calling me.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Hello. Oh, I think I've gone off. I don't know.
Okay, I don't think she can hear me, but we can hear her. So you are still on Kasada Kitchen. Okay, so Kasada Kitchen will come back and join us. But you see, I don't think so with the talk. I mean, look that video there. It tells a very deplorable story. And yet you call me and say, why don't you talk about the good things that the government is doing? Government in work this for make sure say it puts amenities in place, for make sure say thing then they in place for making people them able feed properly, for make sure say in people them get things them where go provide where it provide to them where then go able take care of themselves. If the teachers their salaries are still the same, but yet what they used to pay for something yesterday has quadrupled the price, how you expect them for live? If a family they make $10 a day, 1 or 2 years later, that thing the way them in they buy for $10, where then $10 been they afford, they not able to afford them again. That thing they don't quadruple price. How them for supposed for survive under that $10 day? So man get for pay us rent. So man not to the no more us rent. Then they help their family back, mama, papa, or whatever, pay us rent, pay school fee for the young picking them and them brother them picking them. But if them basic salary, there is no jump, but then the cost of living keeps increasing, keeps rising. What do you expect? What do you seriously expect? We are living in a society with people and they live in a situation where they don't get eat for it. They're going to bed hungry, day in, day out. A lot of people are going to bed hungry. And this hunger, not to today it begin. Not to today it begin. This hunger don't begin for a long time, but then it has escalated. It don't get worse. It don't get worse. I'm going to take the last 4 callers just because I said it was open mic. I'm going to take the last 4 callers. Adeguna Bonya, just giving you an extra for tonight. Last 4 callers, and I'm closing the phone lines. Caller, waiting, are your name and also you the call from.
Okay, hello. Yes, I'm sorry. I want for remain. Yes, I want for just remain unknown. Just a concern, Sarah Leone, if you don't mind. Good evening.
Go ahead. Yes, good evening.
Yeah, let God bless you, Sister Matilda. Let God bless you, Mama Daphne. Let God bless Una always the faith for Salone. Honestly, you guys may not know what you're doing at this time. You are doing a kind of a generational favor, help to Sierra Leone. That's picking them way yet unborn. They still want to do so, therefore affect them. That's why we are all very much serious about this program. But moving on to what we talk about food security and the like, trust me, with this current administration, we go hardly ever get anything like food security. Sorry for say, we go always they get things them will threaten with sustainability. Let me say this. Something day, tomorrow we go wake up because money they flow na the country, they flow among people them where they na authority. These guys are playing with millions of dollars. For camouflage, sometimes tomorrow go wake up, boku eat boss na the country. But you know what? We will never get food security because they are poor managers of our resources. Then go prefer for distribute them among them friends them tribesmen and the region. So as long as then continue this way, we no go ever get food security. Rather, even when talent for say it's there in the country, it go still lead to chaos. One thing that is identical of this administration, I would best define it as you get in this computer business, you get the software, you get the hardware. One of the most silly people them now they want to just believe say the best thing about computer and the software. Hence now then the old man they say but you see the graphics, you see this, and he forgets say the main host of that software they now the hardware. Sad to say we get a government where na a even 30 level or grade software producer them. Not even grade 1 or grade 10 or grade 5, they are in the 30s. Where they on concentration now for produce fanciful information them or things them. For example, when they can road them, you don't make, they begin for paint, it treats, then give them almost 1,000 speed bump. Sorry for saying maybe I would exaggerate small. Put paint and fine, make one small side gear and light, then say they don't make. That is the software mentality. And the dash give a damn to the hardware where somebody been done day, the past administration be done day, we don't make the road when the infrastructure. So what I'm trying to say, if until this particular administration be serious about Sierra Leoneans, get love for Salone, we not go ever attain anything like food security. We go always get a threat to food because of the country. Thank you for the audience.
Thank you, caller. I will move on to the next caller. Caller, waiting on your name and also you call from. Hello, caller.
No.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yeah, can you please speak up? Hello, caller.
Yes, good evening. Good evening, Miss Matilda.
It's Nabendo
Hello,
from
Madam.
Tanzania. I tell you, thank you. I tell Miss Daphne, it's a thank you for our contribution. But I want for we all understand, say, the factors then where they affect with situation na Salone, not to today it don't begin. It don't begin long term, and I not feel say any of we leaders them, we politicians them, they pay attention to that. I mean, I don't want for anybody be alluded to the fact say now President Leone say hang within a Salone. They don't know anything there. Then come, then get to your agenda, what they want for focus on. Unemployment. Look the rate at which unemployment is. Look the cost of thinking. Look the money when they pay people then. I not feel say anybody they able to survive. Now that make corruption no go ever end na Salone. Nobody no go able to survive the cost of waiting things and cost and waiting na the wage when they pay people then. It not match. This is not about APC, SLPP, NGC, or any of the parties that we do Salone. No. And I don't want to let people then believe say the people that where they talk now people that where they against the present government. No. We want let President Bio succeed. Because succeed, the Sierra Leoneans they will succeed. Then the way of life will be better. I don't say this time and time again, Miss Matilda. I just come out Salone. The life and the way where people then they live. It's not the one where you go grab the box, where you see it let you they eat, you build food, you look your neighbor, how in they survive day to day. It's terrible. And then let them know not to somebody get for can watch and say people they will suffer. You where they always they look your neighbor, wait till it all eat today. You know say it they suffer. You where they see people that they roam around na freedom, you know say they suffer. So let we not put this political issue. No, take the political lenses out of the system and let we talk the truth. When you look Madabio no look like he hungry. When you look Fatima Bio, it don't look like he hungry. When you look all the ministers, they don't look like they're hungry. They are all well fed. If not so, every Salone and they look. Trust me, nobody no go complain. So then we people then where they lead when they hand the resources then they let them begin pay attention to the poor people they need. Now then me go advocate for. Thank you so much for the opportunity. May God bless we all. No, we pray for Mama Salone, but we need another move. Thank you.
Indeed, food business and Salone not to today it begin. It did not start with this government. Somehow I don't even think it was with this government. But it certainly has excavated. Certainly it has excavated. The stats are there to prove it, the figures are there, and we have to do something about it. We cannot sit down and wait until Toma bone before we do something. People are dying, people are starving in that country. I'll go to the next caller. Caller waiting your name and also you call from.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, caller.
I'm a concerned person from Dubai.
Okay.
I just want to contribute, and today are fortunate because the time different is too great from this whole side. Yeah. First of all, I did tell now thank you for set up them platform there because this social media gets a great role for play based on waiting they go on currently in our country. And I pray to God when I will ever succeed with own fight. But to be honest, the country we know the day today. Now we know how we feel the pitch. This side of the world, they safe for we and we get family pressure. Every day we actually listen on a program there. Now me know how I feel. I weep bitterly within. Anybody will not like that country day. Me I swear be big swear let God halakia. To be honest with you. As so feel disappointed with that person where they talk for this government. But I not blame the sycophancy and the hypocrisy and too much in that country. I'm so sorry for my language, please. And I mean know how I they feel. Day and night where I they go over program. I get one program where I can follow it now. We had every 2-3 hours you must get bad news. You know they ever get any good thing, any positive thing about that country. It's too pathetic. It's too sad where they see you people and they suffer, they support this government again for the wicked act with them they do. I don't know how some people in they feel. Because you own pocket full today or because you own bread and butter, okay. What if una can come on a power then treat on the same? Now so we for the day. In fact, we are not going to expect everybody for billion. No, I mean not all man na politician. If now so people really want to divide the country, then who will be the nurse, who will be the lawyer, who will be this, who will be that? People are not get law for the country again, now for their own self-interest. The hypocrisy is too much. Even with parliamentarians, they know they do well. They're just few. Now, in fact, I just 2 or 3 maximum. The rest are for their own interest. Nothing, absolutely no, they work in that country. Law is nothing. Everybody, they worship this one game of, this one game president. So, where the foundation, where we they live for the beginning. Because we want is out, no enjoyment, no nothing. Me own experience now from Imperial City. To date, na so cry. Na so suffer. People are not they ask themselves for the past 5 years. How many of them go proud say, na me for this? Then the full one and the hypocrite one and they under still they support this government. Both the past and the current one, they did no good for the country. Unless he tried, but to be honest, it wasn't enough. A thief pass waiting you do. Now the 5 years can be full people. The rest na thief. I left Salone just few years ago, but to be honest, things are not getting better. We just go down the drain. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, caller. You're welcome. So I go take my last call for tonight. Last call for tonight. Caller, waiting on your name and who say the call from.
Hi, I'm Matilda. This anonymous. I just a call for give a little bit of an input. You look good tonight. I missed Casada Kitchen. Did he come back or not?
We they try for see if he can join we for close. I think say they get some technical difficulties.
Well, Casada Kitchen, a message to you in well. You're fabulous. Not listen to any negativity. Continue for the way you do. Waiting me your response be to the caller we call for ask if there's anything good with the government data. Me, I want to point out the things them we then good for. Number one, then good at being stupid. Okay? This BO government is good for being delusional, self-absorbed, then power conscious, you know. People in the era who side and the fight for make their name, for build a legacy, for let them left something behind generations yet unborn. We see leaders them way just so reckless in the sense that for them young like that spirituality in them, that good name in them, they not even care for build up their name at all. And this is just beyond wonders, you know, for this day and age. And then they forget to say life no guarantee. Fatima Bio, you just don't bury your brother today. That they show you for say life no guarantee. You the TV, together, you together. Who say you they can go? You know they able can go no side, me sister, you they die, you left from there. And then picking and the way you get so way small, so someday in the future, then go grow up, then look back, then say, hey mama. Now, so you've named been the smell and you not even try for let you cover up and small for we because then picking the day to man that then get for can't touch the cost. One are the left behind. Now then get for can't touch the bad name. One are the left behind, and then therefore be isolated in the community because any first then change the name because that's possible. Or they don't know where they go change the name somewhere. But as long as they carry that be your last name, any outside and they go, when people see them, then just they look at them. And sometimes wickedness go fall upon them because of the swear. Imagine 7.5 million people and they swear on a day and night. Forget about the hypocrite one them anyway. But if even half of 7.5 million people and they swear una every night, and this not tiny stone, una not go able to cover up that weight of that curse in our life them, and una generations them yet unborn. Una they operate under the Jezebel and Belial spirit. And Tango come on and not go able to use up authority or gain any ground in the realm of the spirit or in the natural. So you guys gotta be careful. If anything, I get love for una for say, you know what? Someday you get die, you get to go meet your master. What are you going to say? So please, you people, slow down. Remember, we need una. Una left for the thief with money. We need money them for let we go able to live a healthy, nutritious life. People and they die, people and they suffer. Una sorry for we bo. We don't tire for cry. We don't tire for suffer. We don't tire for yagi this bad name, but Salone. Please. I'm down on my knees begging you, Mr. Bio and Madam Bio. Una left. God they watch una. And someday una go pay. That's all I gotta say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. Without wasting much time, the phone lines are closed now. I want to read the price list, current price list, because I want to close the program. I don't give a little bit extra time, but the program has to be closed. I want to read the current prices. Then price list they are so and documented from 2018. So from 2018 to 2021, and it is show the percentage increase at current at 2021 where the price then don't go from 2018. So oil per gallon it be na 2018 it been timap na 150,000. You know, actually Salone money can confuse me too much because you know over here that kind of money, come on, it's a solid down payment for a house. You know, it's so I can see the money can confuse me small. 170,000, and then it go on to 210,000, and then at 2020 it stay at 210,000, and then at 2021 it go to 300,000 when a 76% increase from 2018 to now. 76% increase. Same thing we see for pint oil. 3,500, 4,000, 4,500, 6,000, 71% increase. Coal per bag, 30,000, 35, 30,000, 37,000, 40,000, 33% increase. From 2018 to 2021, there's been a 33% increase. We go by less per cup, 1,200, 1,700, 1,500, and then now it's at 2,000, 2,500, and then 2,000. Now that's a 76% increase from 1,200, 1,700. Now, if we take we go now to Gary by cup. Just imagine, Gary na woman gang business na Pullman bomber, right? Pullman bomber. Where then don't make and they make that Gary gun soup, then send and go down, then put 1 cup water, then wash and go down, like that. It been begin 500 leons, then it go 1,000, then it go 1,250 in 2020, and then it come back to 1,000 when a 100% increase from Usai bin Komo when a 500 leon. Now we go to fish for one small bonga. Then a bonga or that small bonga, we can call Pullman or Gade. Bonga, Pullman or Gade. So it could go from 500 leon to 1,000 leon, 1,000 now na 2,000 leon, a 300% increase. And then we go to per mine per gallon.
1,000, no, 120,000, 170,000, 180,000, 270,000, when a 125% increase. Now the way where the increments they happen, if now so people in paycheck self in the increase, if now so them in they take into consideration inflation for increase people wages, then maybe it will make sense. But the wages are not complementary to price increase. You know, to commodities, commodities in the market. Make we go back to plazas, the plazas where if you buy the bad thing, you can just knock one small permaunum, or you put you one cup rest, you cut your plazas where the rest don't boil on, you put the plazas na the middle, you put your small pepper, you get you one maggi, you duck her inside. Na in that. So just the permaun business insef don go up. The permaun business pasa small time, e comot from 500 to 1,000, 1,000 to 3,000. That's a 500% increase. Then we go to bag onions. Bag onions wey comot from 120,000 to 150,000 to 250,000 to 210,000, which is about a 75% increase. Now we go to onions unit price. So now the small one there now, the one where then they put 3 or 4, 500, 2,500, 1,000, and now 2,300% increase. Then we go to bulgur. Bulgur where you say, okay, if I don't able forget the rest, make I go to bulgur. If I can make me bulgur, I make me bulgur dry rest, I put and knock me small parmesan or me small oil inside, I cut me one yabas, cut me one pepper, I put her inside, mix up, box up, I don't make me one pot. Now, the bulgur price, it come up from 2,500 to 4,000, 5,000, and then 5,000, 100% increase. And then we go to chicken foot. Chicken foot, okay, the cartoon chicken foot. Then are the fall foot. Fall foot, like you say, poor man beef, bad say if you know even knack natty, sabi knack that fall foot. Fall foot. It come out from how you call them? 120,000 for the cartoon, it go to 170,000. From 170,000, it stay at 170,000, and then now it goes to 190,000, so a 52% increase. Then Maggi, where if you buy the bad taste salt, you put that you Maggi, it go make things taste small. 250 leons, 700 leons, 500 leons, 100% increase. Then you go to beef, where and then na gentleman business now they call so now beef. But say what where poor man ki don knack some kind knack, himself ki manage cut small inside. But wetin na the price? From it go from a 18,000 to 22,000 to, and then by pound to 22,000 to 25,000, so to 40,000. So if you don't get 40,000, not much, not a clutch beef. And again, now 122% increase. So now cookery without fish, me not be ever know for saying they sell cookery without fish. And now I can know. So me too, I'm learning. So I said cookery, no fish. Now then a poor man bomber. If you buy the bad thing, you get that 2,000, you knock and you own 500, you knock and a bucket, you go sit down, you bend one corner, you linger and they give one cup water, you bless, you say salam alaikum, you anyway. Hey, Halle. Now forget that cookery, they come out from 3,000 a plate, it go to 4,000 a plate. Then it's sit down inside 5,000 2020. Now it's sit down, you know they move. 5,000. So if you don't get, all 5,000 a year, you're not able, a bend corner for say make a knack one plate. So then they again a 67% increase. 67% increase. So when I don't see some of the price index them, the increment on some of the prices them from 2018 to 2021. Now with such things then, you tell me how it is possible that, how is it possible that people can go able live in a country and you tell me say there is no food insecurity. Make we go to the pepper. The pepper wey e bad say if tin bad you don't get that maggi, you get that pepper, you make things sweet, you cut and fold, split and 8, at least you go. It come out from 700 leons, you go to 1,000, then you go to 7,000, and now we don't sit on at 4,000, when a 471% increase. Now the US dollar sterling rate, una dey see the different rates there. So $100 in 2018 bin dey give you 750,000. In 2019 e give you 980,000. In 2020 e give you 1,090,000. In 2021 e give you 1,040,000, which is about a 39% increase. A 39% increase in dollar versus drop in leons. And then you go to the US dollar buying rate, then enough for talk about them. $100 before being they give you 765,000, and that was in 2018. In 2019 they give you 995,000. In 2020 they give you 1,080,000, and now in 2021 they give you 1,030,000, which is a 35% increase in dollar value versus the leons. And this was put together by Dr. Dennis Bright, we all know for say a very good indenting there. So you don't they index the price and they watch the price, not today don't begin to then see. So for watch how the economy they go, how the capital they go, how the spending, and the cost of living, they watch the consumer index and everything. But to say it all, me people, them we go talk today, we talk tomorrow, we talk. But if we are not ready to do the work, if we are not ready to confront these realities and talk about them, guess what? We people then go continue for die, and go continue for suffer, anger go continue for the catch them, they go continue for they go sleep, they no get thing for eat, they no get thing for give them picking them. And guess what? We will continue to be the most malnourished people in the continent, the most underfed in the continent. If that's what we want, then let's keep doing the same thing. But if that's not what we want, then let us stand up. Let us begin to find innovative solutions, and let us begin to say no to people, no to the powers that be, and say no. All condole don are gone, no so in belle they at. Sometimes you belle no they bad. Or usai me le don me belle they at. So therefore, I need for begin tete. I need for begin tete for go look for me young medicine. For me and me picking them. For me and me picking them. Listen, I cannot say much about this. And the reason why I cannot say much about this, even the COVID, I cannot say much about, because the figure speaks for themselves. You not get people the way they oversee, you not get people the way they back home where they call you say so and so don't sick na for send the $200 for the oxygen. Lights no deal. So and so die. Now what's happening? Lights not been there, generator no work. You've had the stories. You've had the story. You had the story of a young anesthetician, up and coming anesthesiologist. Where the country that 4 no more anesthesiologists then get. Up and coming. Training. We lost in life because of what? Because of oxygen. Light. Oxygen, light. Have you ever sat down to make the correlation between light, electricity, and health and survival? Have you ever sat down to make the correlation between infant mortality and light and the availability of light, electricity? Have you ever sat down to look at, maternal mortality and the correlation of electricity, water supply, and all of that? Have you ever sat down to make those correlations? They are all related. They are all interrelated. They are all interrelated. All interrelated. So many people, I don't have much to say here. Unfortunately, Kasara Kichi no able join me back for some reason or the other. Nothing say able connect again. Maybe they get technical difficulty for can't say in goodbyes and in final words. But all the same, it was great having her. I thank her very much for her participation in the show. And what have you. Now, before I close, I want to bring to your attention, I want to play 2 short video them of 22 Sierra Leoneans that are stuck in different prisons in the country of Guinea. with neighboring country of Guinea. I continue for advocate and talk about them for advocates for bring to light their situation. They are in dire need of being rescued from these prisons. Their need for be taken away. They have not committed any crime. All they were doing was to find their tabla rasa. They were on their journey to find their tabla rasa, to make a better living for themselves. And they got caught in political brouhaha. And they became suspect for things that they don't know. The $8,000 where them don't manage, put them together, were taken from them. They are locked in these prisons without any help, without anyone to come to their rescue. So I'm calling on the Human Rights Commissions. I'm calling on the Sierra Leone government. You have bilateral ties with these people. Now all they form part of the Mano River Union. You people have all of these ties, multilateral and bilateral and regional ties. So please do something for these boys. These are your boys. These are your gallant men, that will grow up to become, whatsoever in society in the future. It is your time to protect them. They saw that their future were bleak in Sierra Leone, and so they took to the road and begin sojourn. But unfortunately, waiting them aspire for go to words, not to in the meat, and now they've been languishing in the jails, in the prison in Guinea since October 22nd of last year. Since October 22nd of last year up till date, some of them don't so become sick and malnourished to the point that they can't walk anymore. They are paralyzed. They are sitting in one place. They can't move. They've lost mobility. I go make the video play.
Hello, patriotic citizen of Sierra Leone. This now my own border. The bobo them to bobo them with the whole na prison so na Guinea. We dey call on the government of Sierra Leone because right now we dey strand, we dey suffer. We are patriotic citizen of Sierra Leone. The whole we now we 22. Some of we now in our hospital, we dey strand, we dey suffer. We don't there for more than 8 months. We get all necessary ID cards, identification ID cards to prove that we are Sierra Leoneans. We get passports, we get ID cards, we get national ID showing us Sierra Leoneans. But the government of Sierra Leone or the embassy in Ayaso need to respond to we. Since we can even water, Gary, we know they get either. The ambassador, you call on a phone, he shout on you. Now I just get a rumor say because only on one side. They say about 3 of we, the other person, I doubt I miss them there. They say nearly paralyzed. The other one, no situation. They say just do up no more in Cal. We are government. We are calling on the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, His Excellency Brigadier Julius Madabio, for letting intervene, and the First Lady of Sierra Leone, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Hello everybody, this is the 22 Sierra Leoneans, they're within a prison. People are with the suffer. Since we can also, the president don't try, don't advocate for you, follow we come on, but the ambassador of Sierra Leone, since we there also, there is no food. Nothing, no the way we eat. Now all the patriotic citizens are within a Sierra Leone. The support we look brother, they don't know well, the government will not intervene. People some therapy with anybody in Ayaso. We are all precious souls. We are patriotic citizens of Sierra Leone. We get ID cards, we get voter ID, we get passports, but yet still we are here suffering. We call on the government of Sierra Leone. They want to intervene before something happens. We are the future leaders of tomorrow. We call on the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
Everyone is going to pack that fish on the phone at toilet to sleep. We not be for them pack the common finger this soup. I see that's not natural. So when you talk show with some of the company, you just come up with it and always it for me. Some of the company and they write in a hospital. One per week, we are one paralyzed.
So as soon as I don't see me family, this now a cross section of the bobo them, the man them, because they range from man to bobo them, where they were caught in the crossfire, political crossfire, and they were taken for mercenaries or whatever, during the Guinean election. But all they were doing was they were trying to find greener pastures. They were trying to actually make their way to Niger for work. And then since then capture them and then put them in prison from the 22nd of October up until now. They are still there and on call on the embassy, you know, the ambassador of Sierra Leone to Guinea for making intervene. They talk, but the man just they do this, do then so, do then that. You know, they not get phone privileges them. Now the Guinean, some of the Guinean prisoners then we get phone privilege, can lend them phone for making them able to communicate with people then at the outside world. And the president of the Sierra Leone Association, Guinea, don't waka waka, but what can he do? You know, we need the authorities, we need the ambassador. Now that make you get an ambassador in our country for thing like this, for fight for your citizens, them, for vindicate your citizens, them. So we call on the Human Rights Commission, we call on the ambassador to Guinea, make it talk with in compatriots them, you know, in fellow diplomats them, and talk, see reasons, you know, plead on behalf of then 22 Sierra Leoneans them, yeah, where just unfortunately they were caught in they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they caught in the crossfire. For all indication, all intent and purposes, you know, they have their ID cards with them. They are not bandits. They have not done any wrong. You know, like I said, they were sojourners, you know, trying to find a greener pasture in another country, and you know, unfortunately, they get caught in the crossfire. So they appeal to the government of Sierra Leone, the diplomatic corps, you know, representing Sierra Leone and Guinea, make it come to them, but they also they man they also they aid. Right now they are separated, you know, in different CALs, and when they call CALs, it means, you know, Kazan, the prison, basically. That's what it is. The CALs are prison, right? So just a plea, you know, anyone who has here for come to them, but they had a rescue. You might not like what I have to say, you might not stand my God, but like I say, make we agree for disagree respectfully. When it comes to this, these are Sierra Leonean, their life matters. They ought to be protected by their government. They you know, they are citizens of Sierra Leone, and they should be rescued in situations like this. We fumble them. Like I can always close the program. Corona is real. Corona they kill. And make we continue for what we are, make we continue for wear we mask, make we continue for exercise, all forms of social distancing. And you know, waiting down for those who inside the country. I know say I get few people that will call me, will confirm, you know, say they've been confirmed that they have the COVID. I hope say then I wish them a speedy recovery. We are all praying, but outside of praying, we have to do the right thing. We have to do the right thing. We have to you know, wash our hands, take all the precautionary measures then, so that we all go stay safe. Until then, me fumble them. May God bless we all. Which we defend now this world. Make God give we, make God continue for protect we all and guide we all until we meet again next week, hopefully by the grace of the Almighty. Unatata.